Meghan burst into tears as Duchess Catherine's stunning moment peels off Sussex's problem. The Princess of Wales has stepped out in a powerful outfit, and her move highlights exactly what's wrong with Meghan Markle and Harry. Hello, and a very warm welcome back to our Kate Middleton and the Queen News YouTube channel. Oh, the power of fashion. Now, if you have not had a chance to do so, please check out the latest ensemble that was worn by the Princess of Wales. There she was, confidently walking onto a stage on Tuesday morning, wearing the kind of outfit the Oxford Dictionary should use to illustrate their entry for power suit. It looks like Catherine's days of wearing her little church wife getup are far behind her. We saw her rolling up in a $3,945 Alexander McQueen blazer and trousers to announce a major new early years initiative. And we are just loving this image of the princess, looking so businesslike and like such an amazing leader. I'm sure every card-carrying feminist out there is incredibly thrilled to see her. And this is also an image that really highlights how unsuccessful Meghan and Harry have been at setting the world of philanthropy on fire. And it's interesting, too, the timing, because late on Monday night, Harry and Meghan's Archwell Foundation released their first impact report. And this report revealed that of $18.4 million that was raised by the foundation, only $4.24 million was donated. Catherine and William, on the other hand, actually make a real impact in their charitable work. So it's really impossible not to compare the two outfits on both sides of the Atlantic. And the reason that Catherine was up on that stage in London wearing that power suit was because she was launching the latest high-profile campaign of her Royal Foundation Center for Early Childhood. Now, for quite some time, I wasn't so impressed with Catherine's charitable work. I didn't say that she was work-shy, but still, I thought that she could really do more. She just seemed to not really have a purpose. It looked to me like she was happy with her lot in life and was happy to be this well-dressed accessory to her husband William. I mean, well-meaning, but still not impressive. Now, over the last 5 years, though, Catherine has started gathering experts from science, academia, and government to talk about children's development between pregnancy and age 5. So, Catherine's idea is that if you can fundamentally change and improve the way society and the country supports children and their parents in that important time before school, then we could dramatically reduce rates of things like addiction, mental illness, and homelessness in the future. And for Catherine, this is really not glamorous work. There are no short-term, made-for-the-camera PR wins. And all of those photo ops at preschools guarantee the inevitability of getting finger paint on your favorite trousers. But still, Catherine's early years work is ambitious and it's incredibly progressive. It's the kind of forward-thinking stuff that has the power to really change millions of lives in the future. And of course, Catherine's #1 fan and supporter, her husband William, was there with her on Tuesday. And he's got his own big picture project in the form of the global $90 million Earthshot Prize. $90 million is certainly nothing to laugh at. Now, we can contrast that with Meghan and Harry's work. They're approaching their 3-year mark in the US, and they have introduced their charitable Archwell Foundation towards the end of 2020. Since then, occasionally Archwell Foundation has showed up to announce various moments of do-goodery. For example, when they donated to Save the Children and UNICEF Nigeria after the catastrophic flooding in the African country last October. Or there was also the time that Meghan supported the female-driven protests in Iran through her choice of t-shirt. But up until the report came out this week, it seemed like Archwell's greatest contribution was in their enthusiastic use of press releases. Apparently, we were wrong about that. So this week's impact report details the extent to which Archwell has been making real differences in thousands of lives, including rescuing about 7,500 people from Afghanistan through a partnership with the Human First Coalition, and they also helped to serve 50,000 meals in partnership with the World Central Kitchen. Well, all right, I will give Meghan and Harry some credit for once. That is some pretty impressive work, and we haven't heard about it. They didn't loudly announce it to us. And none of this should be diminished, not at all. This work is to their credit. But what the Archwell Foundation report, and also Catherine's London lunch, really demonstrate is that the two couples are playing on different levels. It seems like Meghan and Harry's work is more focused on a range of often grassroots outfits, and they're trying to make an immediate impact. But William and Catherine's work, on the other hand, is focused and it's legacy-making stuff. There are benefits that are going to be enjoyed by our children and our children's children, too. This could be a clear-eyed strategic choice on the part of Meghan and Harry, but still, their humanitarian work is overshadowed by Harry taking potshots at his own family. So maybe Archwell Foundation has helped people all around the world, but thanks to Meghan and Harry's trashing the royal family, we don't think of charity when we hear their names. We think of family fights and nasty backstabbing behavior. One writer at the Washington Post figured out that Meghan and Harry have given and undertaken about 40 hours of interviews and media engagements since they came to the US. Now, for Meghan and Harry in 2023, their brand is not founded on them as humanitarian leaders. Instead, their brand is founded on them versus the House of Windsor. So I guess what it all boils down to is the fact that their charitable work doesn't really feel like the defining force in terms of their public image. Now, part of the reason why that is could be due to sheer necessity, considering that Harry's dear old father no longer pays their bills, and reportedly they've got a $13.4 million mortgage to pay. Over the last 2.5 years or so, they have signed deals with corporate giants like Netflix, Spotify, and Penguin Random House that all combined are reported to be worth more than $200 million. So they shot their 8-hour documentary series, Harry wrote that 400-plus page book with the help of a ghostwriter, and Meghan put out a 12-part podcast series. All of that does take up a lot of time, I would assume. And they can't spend all of that time scheming and plotting and planning how they can make the world a better place. And that, my friends, is a fundamental difference between them and William and Catherine. See, William and Catherine can dedicate a lot of their time to plugging away at their big projects, with only time for a quick round of coronation chicken sandwiches for lunch. The Sussexes, though, having walked away from the monarchy to find their freedom, are raising chickens supposedly right down the road from Oprah. And they gotta pay their own bills. They have to buy chicken feed somehow. So they don't really have the luxury to spend a lot of their time on their charitable projects. Now, it will be interesting to see whether or not Harry and Meghan, as they're settling into their U.S. careers, can start working on more ambitious, more far reaching projects. Or, without the support network and the infrastructure of the palace, they may be struggling to gain much traction at all. In 2014, Harry started his very successful and ongoing Invictus Games. So, are we ever going to get to see the two of them start any kind of similar global endeavors in the same league as this one? Or perhaps in the same league as William's Earthshot Prize or Catherine's Early Years Foundation? Or even King Charles's Prince's Trust or the late Diana's Landmine Campaign? Will Harry and Meghan ever be in the same league when it comes to philanthropy as William and Catherine are? If there's one thing we can learn in all of this, it is that day jobs can really get in the way of changing the world. And we can also learn that you should never underestimate the power of a pantsuit. And you, what do you think about our news today? If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to share it with your friends and family who would like it too. And don't forget to support our channel more and more by subscribing to Kate Middleton and the Queen News channel. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be back to see you in the next videos.